here. What's going on? Keep the chat going. Appreciate everyone being here and continuous coverage of what's going on. Revenge and personal.
What's up, pretty things? How are you?
35 cents.
What's up, AI Starseed? So, guys, with boots on the ground here at Nancy Guthrie's house. We're just getting set up, but man, it's a lot of people out here. A lot of people. I've already seen some of the anchors that I met at Sean Diddy Combs' trial, so that was kind of mind-blowing. See Brian from TMZ.
Oh, Cymax says. No, never heard of it. Got it?
Thank you for the super chat, pretty things. Thank you. Good morning to you, Stella.
Yeah. Fun for the next 2 hours.
Hey, thanks. I'll pick a better angle here in a second.
Nice to actually get to that now.
Bye-bye. Started out here 7 o'clock.
What's up, Deborah?
I agree with
11 to 12 hours each day, a little after dark.
I'm gonna be out here every day, all day. So.
Crazy again last night. Phone started buzzing around 9, 10 o'clock. Maybe something's going on, but it's just nothing nuts.
Let's see, the sheriff is set up here. When you're actually boots on the ground, I mean, it's a very small front yard. On television, they make it seem like it's like it's this big front yard. Actually, it's not. It's very small. It's like a really small front yard. The person could have pulled up easily. Like even the point to her back yard where she parked is like really short. On television or with the media, you could see it looks vast. Anyway, here's some of the. You see they have a flower up. Bring Nancy home. It's nice to be boots on the ground, folks. Boots on the ground. That's a good message for today. Never, never give up, folks. Never give up. Good morning, good morning. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, folks. God is watching you. It's never too late. Do the right thing. All right. I see these guys have a mean setup for power. So this is how close she was to the neighbor. Literally, I mean, super close. This is a lot different than New York, folks. Definitely. I recently went to San Diego. This is much different than San Diego. Jeez. All right, we're gonna be streaming all day, every day. I have to get used to this place. So this is the neighbor's house here, which I'll show you in a second here. And there's neighbors across the street. So jeez. The mountains are crazy out here. Amazing stuff, you know? Straight out of Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Jeez. I think the local people, they don't talk about the mountains because they're so used to it. It's kind of like where I live at. My neighbors, we forget we have mountains around because when people come, they be like, oh, great mountains. I was like, what mountains? This is breathtaking out here. So this is her driveway. And you have the sheriff here around the clock. So, wow, it's amazing stuff here. She has humongous cactus in her yard. Wow, man. This is a lot different than what I had imagined, so. Wow. This is a lot different. See the media set up this way too. I'll give you a view of the front door. So that's her front door, obviously.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
no, sorry. The only update that I've heard recently is that the DNA did not match in CODIS. And so now they're using the same format they used with Brian Kohlberger to cast a broader net, basically, with genealogy. So I don't think it's like, I think it's similar to 23andMe, but not necessarily 23andMe. So in other words, if some of your relatives have ran a DNA report, then they would be able to pick up the person based off of that. So they'll detect your close relatives of the sort. Man, it's beautiful out here though. Guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.
United State 18 sister for 84-year-old Nancy Gore Whitney live in Tucson this morning. We're going to tell you the technology investigators are using right now to hopefully track Nancy using pacemaker. That's why we're still coming up with this. Okay, thanks. You can tell it was. I could hear the wind and bass inside. Did you guys just get these from us or not? Sheriff says investigators today and fingerprints, weapons,
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you a real hat.
Uh-oh. I'm bracing myself.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
It's called the National League.
All right.
Forget that American League.
Yankees forever, right? And on the football, I'm a Dallas fan, so that probably,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yep.
Man, you're like 30 years too late on that.
Oh, you're right. We can't win the Super Bowl to save our lives. It's crazy. It's a lot of drones. All right, folks, we're out here for the Nancy Guthrie case. All right, Deborah's making butternut squash. Okay. What's up, Eric? Shout out to you, Eric. How many of you guys have ever been here before?
You should get more from less, like exclusive tire.
We are continuing to follow all of the developments regarding the search for Nancy Guthrie. It is week 3 of that search, and investigators are still trying to recover more evidence and focusing also on some DNA found inside.
Here this morning, the sheriff did share those DNA results yesterday, and he said that they put those DNA samples into the database and they did not get a match. So the sheriff says the work here is still underway. We know now his team is looking at additional DNA evidence inside the home to see if they can try to figure out who this person is.
We haven't narrowed it down to anything other than we have certain pieces of evidence that we're looking at.
After testing DNA found inside Nancy Guthrie's home, the Pima County Sheriff said investigators could not find a match.
You chase leads until you either make it or eliminate it.
And now tracking down the suspect will likely take a lot longer. Investigators are turning to genetic genealogy mapping instead, but that can take weeks or possibly longer.
It's not going to be easy to solve this case.
Investigators have cleared the entire Guthrie family, including spouses, saying they are not suspects. But we still don't know what evidence the sheriff used to clear the family. Investigators are now working with Walmart and visiting gun stores in Tucson to try to track down the gun holster worn by the suspect.
I talked to a gun store owner today who said he felt it was more like 30 names that he was shown last week by an FBI agent. What we found out from law enforcement sources is those names came from a list they compiled of people who purchased that polyester holster that this man was wearing.
And here on the ground, we're told 11 different law enforcement agencies are still working this case. And the sheriff doubled down yesterday, saying his team is dedicated to bringing Nancy back home. But there are some people who are starting to wonder, Carell, if investigators are hitting a wall.
And Caroline, it's just so interesting because so many people are watching this case closely. There's so many theories out there. One of them being that Nancy may have possibly been taken to Mexico. I mean, what do we know about what investigators are saying regarding all of these different theories?
Yeah, Carell. Well, the Mexico theory started pretty early on into this search because as of right now, we're just about 60 miles away from the southern border. But the sheriff went on the record yesterday saying at this point, with the evidence they have, it does not suggest that Nancy was kidnapped and taken to Mexico. And at this point, they're still focusing their search in southern Arizona. Carell.
All right, Caroline Elliott live for us down there outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. We appreciate you taking the time to provide some of these updates. We'll check in with you soon.
And of course, if we hear some more from the Pima County Sheriff's Department, we will bring you those updates here as always. And just a reminder that later on today, my colleague here, our very own Josh Breslow, is going to be having an interview with the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, and so we'll bring you his comments later today. I do want to put up here also some of those images that have been circulating all throughout social media, and it's really what we have in terms of who is a possible suspect at this time. Just yesterday, we had a crime scene investigator join us answering some viewer questions. And there's really a lot to get to in terms of trying to narrow down who is potentially even a person of interest at this point. As I have been mentioning, it is week 3 of this search. It is continuing there, and the sheriff just says that he is not giving up, as you heard from the comments there, as he also spoke to reporters just yesterday. But these images were released a couple of weeks ago, courtesy of the FBI, who is also working on this case as well. Meantime, Savannah Guthrie has released some videos and some statements throughout her social media pages, just pleading for whoever took her mother to just return her, and that it is never too late. The sheriff in Pima County says that he's just trying.
Hey, it's North Carolina, Elliot.
All right. right, let's see here. Eric says he's driven through Tucson many times. Okay, my first time out here. AI Starseed says the scene is super compromised. All right, I get it. Pretty Thing says, why are they still flying drones? I think the drones are just a lot of individuals that are here, boots on the ground. That's their way of checking people out, probably on the low. Who knows who could be behind? There's about 3 drones up right now. You never know who's flying them. Maggie says, the weirdest story ever. Okay. Michelle says, don't lose hope. God bring her family back to life, respectfully. Okay. All right. Randy says she's gone. Okay. All right. Okay, okay. So I learned some things yesterday that changed the way I look at the whole case, and I realized that the media has it wrong. Like, let me tell you, it's almost worthless to follow mainstream media. I'm just talking from a personal reference, because there's so much stuff that I found out that wasn't even true. Like, initially they said the back door was left open. That has not been confirmed. And I don't know if I could say, yeah, I don't know how much to say. Not totally sure. Not sure. Not sure what to say. So if you go and you look at the video, right? You could actually see from the camera that her front door had a regular lock and a deadbolt, okay? Now, Eric could probably tell you how hard it is to get through a deadbolt. So, somehow or another, the person got her to open the door. That's why they're saying the house wasn't broken into necessarily. It appeared, that's why the blood is by the front door. So either she recognized the voice, or the person may have pretended to be law enforcement. It has to be something like that, because from what I'm understanding, she opened the door. So how would you open your door at 2 o'clock in the morning? You had to recognize the voice. I don't know. This is crazy. What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, sir.
I'm Mel.
No, J-Lo.
Watching the world.
Who are you with?
Watching the world.
Watching the world.
Independent.
Watching the world.
Yeah, out of New York.
Oh, you came from New York.
Yep.
What brings you down here?
I cover all of the same as you. You know, I cover court cases though. So I cover Diddy, Nicholas Maduro. So I'm in court every day.
I see you outside
Yeah,
the
you
federal
said,
courthouse.
I think you streamed some of my stuff. But nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah,
person.
man. How was it? How was it outside the courthouse with Diddy?
Crazy, but not as crazy as Nicholas Maduro.
Maduro was wild. I covered that too.
You couldn't even turn around. Yeah, I think you streamed me off of Maduro. I saw it. Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
I'm from Florida, so the whole entire Diddy trial we covered on the channel. We would start out every morning at 8:30.
No, I saw you. I actually saw you.
And we just kind of would go like inner city press.
Yeah.
And just do the tweets and then just share the backdrop of the court.
Yeah.
Everyone was
I
fascinated.
was in the main courtroom every day.
Where are you?
Sitting right behind Diddy, yeah.
So
I go to all these cases. Trump, I was in Trump sitting behind. That's why you
Okay.
see Brian from TMZ. He's not with TMZ anymore, but that's how he knew me, because he covered.
you wanna talk and give yourself the plug?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
All eyes on the world.
All eyes watching the world.
All eyes watching. First thing.
Let me bring mine too. So, Mel.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All eyes watching the world. All eyes watching the world. I like that.
Thank you. But I've been good coverage, man. You know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, folks, come on in. I'm gonna spin the camera around. I'm with a gentleman here. All eyes watching the world. He's out here. He's from New York. What's going on?
Yes, the name of the channel on YouTube is Watching the World, but I'm also on other platforms. So it's good to be here. Nice to meet JLR. I was telling him at Watching the World, I predominantly go to the court cases in New York and other places too. I was at Donald Trump's trial. I attended it, sat behind Donald Trump. And again, that's Watching the World 777 on YouTube. I also attended Sean Diddy Combs' case every day. I was in the main courtroom sitting behind behind Diddy. Got to know the family and so forth. I covered Nicholas Maduro, sitting behind him in court. I was in court when he said that the United States came in, the military, and kidnapped him. The judge had asked Nicholas Maduro, you don't mind, do you?
No, go. I'm
Okay.
fascinated with those court cases
Okay,
because we
so
covered the same court case.
This is a little bit off. Can you just...
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No,
I
I'm
have it, 'cause
fascinated
I was
with
up-
that.
I
Like,
was on the hill, so thank you.
yeah.
So for Nicholas Maduro's case, when the judge asked him was he guilty or not guilty, because he had a translator, he was able to get in way more words. And so he started to say that he was in his home on Saturday night, and that basically what they're trying to say.
If you don't mind,
Yeah, that's
Sorry, I just gotta play with the lighting.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
basi-
you do the court cases around
Yeah,
the country.
yeah,
We covered on this channel. We covered Diddy.
yeah.
You were inside the court hearing. I think we kind of played some of your streams or
Yeah.
some of your reports of being out there. What brings you out here for Nancy Guthrie?
I like to be boots on the ground. I try to follow this case as much as possible, but it's nothing like coming to see it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Plus, I've always had I'm intrigued by true crime.
True
But
crime.
I cover the news every day, typically at noon, news at noon.
So seeing Nancy Guthrie, because you cover things around the country, seeing it first and then now coming here, what's your take?
Totally different.
Totally different. How?
Even the layout driving here today was totally different. But like on television or on this big screen, her yard looks so big, even if you look at the layout.
Mhm.
But then you get here, the guy could skip to the front door. It's like, and it is so covered with all of her cactus and trees. So it takes on a different meaning when you see it for yourself.
How long do you plan to be here?
Hopefully until there's a break in the case somehow,
So you're gonna be here for a few days or until a break?
I'm prepared. I came open-ended, so
When did you get here?
last night.
Last night. Did you
Yeah.
take the drive down here at night?
Yeah.
dark.
Dark. You can't even see your hand in
Can't
front
even
of
see
you.
your hand in front of you.
Yeah.
Like literally. So, you've been following the case, brought you out here to see what's going on with Bruce Scott. What do you think happened to Nancy? What do you think happened?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Do you go by factual or did you do a lot of opinion and speculation?
Strictly, I don't do any speculation.
No
I
speculation.
Because I have a lot of followers too, and I don't want to send people the wrong message.
Gotcha.
I think it sends people on the wrong direction because a lot of the things that they said about the case, like they said the back door was left open,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And then when you look it up, it may not be technically confirmed. And that a camera was removed from the back door. There's so much was floating around. Like even they said there was a glove found inside the house. And then you find out from the sheriff that that's not true, that there was no glove found inside the house.
He actually gave a statement yesterday to one of the media, said, they're doing the DNA on the glove that found 2 miles away, but he's more concerned about the DNA found in the house. Mixed DNA and DNA found in the house.
Right.
That's more his concern
Right.
on the situation. But yeah, there has been a lot of misspeaking and different things going on. And we do it too on the channel because we do
Yeah.
speculation in real time and misinformation as it comes through and try to decipher through what's legit and what's not, in real time. And there's moments like, for instance, the raid the other day, just talk that someone was shot at the Range Rover at
Yeah,
the
that was
Culvers,
crazy, right?
and people have been arrested and detained, and names are flying out, and we're just throwing names out that's being circulated on the internet. But then some of the names aren't the actual people and everything like that, so we just decipher it through,
Right.
because
But
that's part of real time.
But covering all these cases, being outside the courtroom, sometimes you're talking, you're also communicating with people in your chat.
Mm-hmm.
So speculation is okay, probably, right? Because you're just trying to navigate. But when it's coming from the legacy media, you expect it to be a little bit more solid. So I think that's the that's where it gets tricky, right?
Do we expect to see you if they do an FBI raid at a house or anything? Do we
Yeah, I'm
expect you
here.
to be on the scene?
I'll be here. I'll be there with you. So we'll see what happens.
How can people find your channel?
It's Watching the World 777 on YouTube. Thank you guys for
Watching the
tuning
World
in.
777, definitely, because you
And
might
for
be at
my
another
people,
location.
Yeah, this
You
is
might be at another
JLR.
location, and we check you out and see where you're at and what you're doing.
Yeah, we'll exchange information, definitely.
Absolutely. Nice meeting you.
Thank
Mel.
you, man.
Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you. All right, guys, there you have it. Okay, here we go. So, that's JLR. You guys probably follow him a lot, right? All right, Carol says she came over from JLR. Thank you. Nice to be here. Make yourself at home. Okay, it's chilly out here, so you guys to know that too. And I came out of New York, but believe me, it's chilly here too. I thought it would be nice and warm, but not the case. I heard the initial days it was burning hot, but today it's quite chilly, I must say, Is that better? Who said that? I can't see. Okay, Stella, is that better or more? Tell me exactly what you're looking for. Welcome in the Real Kills. Thank you guys for coming over from JLR. I really appreciate you guys. He's boots on the ground. I look forward to seeing how this develops. But right now, things are pretty quiet, Okay, guys, so here's the thing, and I don't want to say too much. Don't want to say too much, right? Here's my issue. The glove that was found 2 miles away, they've never said if Nancy Guthrie's blood was on the glove or any of her DNA. Wouldn't you think that would be like the pointed question? Because now that glove on the side of the road, you're trying to determine if someone actually threw it out the window that's associated with the case, right? But I get it that the FBI, they don't want to tell the general public everything. So that's a question. I don't like to do speculation, but questions I think are fair. I think questions are very fair. So I don't understand why that has not been clarified. The other thing that hasn't been clarified is the next day when the family came and discovered the house, was the front door locked? Because there's rumors that the back door was locked from the outside. So that means that it's a deadbolt, right? So that means the person, there's no doubt about it, right? Even if you go to AI and you look up this case, okay? According to what's in the public only, her blood is by the front door. So apparently it appears she opened the front door and there was some sort of struggle. From what I could determine, it's almost like the person didn't even go in the house. So that's the problem with the media saying that the person was tinkering around in her house for 43 minutes. I don't think that's the case. I think once the person made contact with her, it was out of here. The other thing is, have they ran that technology over the house? And how deep of a search did they do? Would be my first question. That's not really something that I've seen in the public too. So. But literally her front yard is so small. And from looking on the outside from far away, it looked humongous, right? Even with the video. Guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all the people that came over from JLR to support the channel here at Watching the World. We have great moderators, we have good people, so thank you guys for tuning in. There's so many drones in the air. I wonder what's going on. And I don't think these drones are law enforcement. Thank you, Shopper Girl. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate you. Southern Gal, thank you. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. So many people here from local news. I don't see any major news outlets here. Maybe they were here earlier, but right now I see all the local channels. And most of these vehicles are support staff. I don't know if you guys saw on the news where the girl from the New York Post, where she took a photo of them finding a glove that's, I guess, 2 miles away. So that was out in the media. Now we find out that that wasn't even the glove that they were testing. So I think what happens is, I'm just giving you guys my point of view, is that when any little news break, people want to put it out first. I get it. But most of the things, or the perspective I had about this case that I got from the media, is wrong. It's been changed, and that could be how we get to 13, 14 days out. Oh, I have video, guys, that I'm going to put out today. This morning when I was grabbing coffee, I think they had like 10 officer vehicles, like in a, I don't want to say like a homeless encampment, but all I saw was basically migrants, and it's like they bombarded them. So, and it was right by where it used to be a river or some sort. So you guys could look out for that video. I couldn't tell if it was ICE or maybe related to this, but it was early morning. They bombarded. It was like a bum rush, as they would call it. So there's a lot happening around here. It takes a lot to do this. I give it to JLR to be out here so many days, because it requires a lot of commitment to do this. It's one thing to do it in New York, where I'm comfortable and I know my surroundings. Out here it's quite different. So the first couple days you have to figure out like what's going on, who's who. I saw Brian from TMZ that I covered Sean Diddy Combs' case with, so that kind of got me warmed up to the area. Once everybody saw that he knew me and gave me such a grand welcome, then that kind of put the mood right for me to be here. So that's a blessing. Because other than that, I'm just a guy showing up on the 13th, 14th day. So, all right, let's see here video, guys. Hit the like button, share it, subscribe. I'm going to look for updates. If you guys see anything outstanding, let me know, and we'll get to it. Wow, we have a lot of people here from JLR. That was a good look for him, man. He's a good guy. All right, let's just take a little. I'm gonna play some news snippets for the latest information out in a few minutes, but let's just do a walk around real quick for those who are just coming in. I can't get over how different it looks in person. Like, it makes it hard to try to figure things out from afar. Not that we can, but I mean, you know, everybody try to figure things out in their own little way. So this is the front door, folks. Make sure I'm not blocking anybody. Somebody said they removed the bracket. Maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they did. Let the cameras on. I guess they did, yeah. So at least that was accurate. I'm just gonna zoom in. You know, on the videos that I saw, the front porch looks so vast, right? But in person, this is like a little small. I mean, at nighttime, obviously, it would be much darker. You can't navigate around. But look at the steps. Like, it seemed like she would have to walk so far to get to a vehicle or whatever. Let's just say if somebody pulled up. But it's so short, you know. Then online, people are saying she had to come downstairs. Like, look at this. How is she coming downstairs to answer the door? I've heard that rumor too, right? You come here in person, you see things a lot differently, folks. Oh, we got way more media here, though, now. A lot of neighbors, people walking their dogs and so forth. All right, let's see what's happening down. We're gonna go both ways to see. But check out the scenery, it's crazy out here, it's amazing. So this is the beautiful part about being with Legacy Media. They come in with the heavy artillery, you know what I mean? Most YouTubers just have their cameras and phones. You have to do your film work in most cases and cover stories or what have you. They have a whole support staff. That's amazing. So this is an amazing view. It's almost set up like a development. Welcome into Rhonda from JLR. Thank you. Thank you guys for subscribing and supporting the channel. Thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna stop for a moment to see if is anybody trying to tell me anything, or let me focus on the chat here for a minute. Wow, we have a lot of comments. Jeez. Okay, let's see. All right, so if somebody has something they need me to address, I would say put it in now so I could see the new comments coming in. Sorry if I missed something important. Let's see. Good morning. Thank you, Silk Butter. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you guys. I mean, listen, guys. Everybody is living their lives. Brian, could you just say hi? This is Brian I was talking about. Thank you. I was telling everybody
I
about
hope you said nice things.
Yeah, I told them how we covered Diddy's case together, you know?
Yeah, well, good luck to you. I'm working with ABC News.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful.
keep an eye on what you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, guys. So Brian is now with ABC News. He was at Sean Diddy Combs' case every day too in New York. 9 weeks of this. Can you imagine all day long sitting in court? I don't know what's going to be worse, standing out here all day or going to court every day. At least around here you can move around. Sitting in court, they don't even want you can't even have a peppermint. You can't drink a juice. You have to drink only water. So they all have their advantages and so forth. Yep, they all have their advantages. There's the sheriff.
Who have been convicted of a crime, and so there are other databases, other ways to analyze that DNA using
So if we look back now, where they're standing at her mailbox, this is the closest neighbor here. They hear everything at night, so a lot of questions. There's a neighbor there across the street. So there's houses all around. So we're gonna go down to the end of the strip here. Okay, so we're gonna go down to the end of the road here. Oh man, oh man. Let's see here. So this is not much different than any other development on television. I'll just say from now on television, on YouTube. They made it seem like the roads were so broad and all you could see was maybe a shred of light leaving at night. That is not true. Some of these houses are right by the road. But this does not have an outlet. Hmm. All right, let's see here. Yes, Mama Lucy, this is the Guthrie case. Boots on the ground out here in Arizona. First time to Arizona. So if I come to Arizona, that'll tell you I'll go anywhere. Not just New York, folks. So this is the end of the block here. This is the end of the block. What I find to be nice out here, you see how close this house is to the road? On TV, all the houses are so far that you can't see anybody from the street level. I mean, it's not New York, but so guys, this is what I like here. You see they have the cast iron signs. We don't have that. I've lived in Virginia, New York, New Jersey. I've never seen. That's pretty cool. So this is the end of the block here. That's a nice house right there. Look at it, man. Alright, where are you guys viewing from? We have a lot of new names here. Thank you to the moderators for keeping us together. Oh, it's tough for the school bus to get through. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Travel Toter says houses in the area are empty. Snowbirds often arrive in Tucson after the gym show. Oh wow. Thank you for that inside information. Someone that knows the area quite well. Okay, so for those of you that are just coming in, we're covering the Nancy Guthrie case. Boots on the ground here in Tucson, Arizona. The next house that we're approaching is actually Nancy Guthrie's. You can see all the flowers and the messages. Oh, there's a drone. All right, so I am going to give you guys a great view, and when I come back, we'll go through some of the footage of the latest reports. Maybe there's something new, but we'll get to that.
I would have stayed maybe till Sunday.
Hey, Gary, this is Tucson drone on the bridge, Red 312.
My wife said, go travel, have fun, have a good time. Access makes a hot body.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know what it is? It's like the kids.
So a lot of the drones are being operated by people here, boots on the ground. So. So there's another drone. We almost have 300 likes. That's amazing. Thank you guys for all the likes. I guess everybody's waiting to see if there's some sort of raid or something else going on. Any new breaks in the case. Other than that, it's just streaming. So here's another neighbor here to the right of her. Literally right next to her.
And I'm like doing this. And you're like wondering if there's something wrong with your shirt. Yeah. Where is the little thing?
Okay. So again, this is the front door. front yard here. Very short driveway. And the pool is off to the left here.
It's worth it. It's just like it's easy to just put on the back burner for
There you have the sheriff. Well, it's starting to get hot now, so we go from one extreme to another. Jeez.
is quite large. I mean, there's probably at least 10 or so different outlets that just lined up all along the street. Something real about this neighborhood. It's not like neighborhoods there's no sidewalks, there's no street lights, it's the dark side of the that's being factored into the pitch black. Again, not a lot of room for folks, but ultimately they're doing a great job of saving the last thing is I think this is like probably the night. Not a lot more yellow side shows out there. The yellow color is well, he never asked. He's supposed to ask me.
I'll take that spot.
Oh, thank you.
Quite a few people are packing up, leaving, so I figured I'd come when things quiet down more. So it looks like it's good timing, I guess. All right, let's see. We have Tiffany. Shout out to you, Tiffany. Jenny Smith. We might be related. Okay. Angel Eyes. Good morning to you. Charlotte. Targeted attack. Foreigners. Locals. It's one of those things, you know, guys, I keep saying I went to Sean Diddy Combs' trial every day and I heard a lot of things, right? And I thought I had it pegged because I'm like, listen, I can't even go to court with a speeding ticket and get it thrown out without having some little attorney in the mix or whatever. But after I sat through that case and I heard all the things, I saw all the witnesses, I saw Cassie, I saw Jane Doe, I saw Mia. I listened to I looked at, you know, some of the sex workers I actually in court I was able to interview. I'm like, man, this is something you can't get around. When I heard the verdict, I'm like, wow, you know. So there's a different level out there, and I learned from that case going forward. I'm not gonna speculate, but I do ask questions. But you'll never really know. You might be surprised, you know. Something don't add up, though. I will tell you that. Something doesn't add up. So we could probably speculate from here to the moon and never come to the right answer, you know. It's crazy. Let's see. Oh, right. We have somebody from San Francisco Bay Area. I flew into there yesterday, Tiffany. Yep, I flew there yesterday and amazing. I used to be a 49er fan before I settled. Well, I started off as a Cowboy fan when I was like 4 or 5 years old. It was just the first team I ever saw on TV, so I said, oh, I'm going to stick with it. You know, I'm one of those type of guys. But I became a fan of the 49ers, so it was nice to actually fly into there. Yes, I hadn't been there before. I've been to many places.
Good. I saw that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I could have loaned you one.
That's a good spot, though, but I kind of like it up here on the hill. Nobody wants to be right here, so that's cool. My name is Mel, and this is Watching the World, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you. I'll be streaming from here, hoping to figure out so you guys can get a boots on the ground viewpoint. Especially those that follow Watching the World. I know you probably have questions, so most of you guys know I don't exaggerate. I kind of give it to you straight, so you can come to your own conclusions, you know. But I have a lot more questions. Okay. Let's see, Maria. Maria says, what will it take for the FBI to cross the border and check for Nancy's pacemaker? Good question. Good question. Good question. Probably an arm and a leg, you know. It's probably a lot of red tape. It's kind of like the United States doesn't necessarily have access to Mexico's CODIS system. It's similar to CODIS. So, it depends on the circumstance, I guess. Let's see here. Seahawks. Okay, you're in Seattle. Okay. I don't know the directions on the West Coast like I do the East. But I know it's not too far. Okay. Michael, hey, Charlotte. My condolences. What happened to Charlotte? What happened? Okay, Charlotte, thanks for being here. Okay, Charlotte, are you from this exact place? Okay, Zoe, hey, Mel. From the UK, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for liking, sharing. Yeah, Michael, love the Cowboys. That's right. We have people here from all over the world. That's pretty cool. Oh, Lori, I remember you from the Diddy trial days. Thank you. There's always a new case to cover. Zoe is watching me and JLR. All right, thanks for adding me into the mix. Hopefully you guys feel the need to subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, so you're in Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, Michael, you're a big Cowboy fan. That's awesome. Marco, do you think the kidnapper was an illegal from Mexico? If so, how would he be on the public DNA if he's from Mexico? Great question. Okay. Charlotte says she's going to watch some of my content. Thank you very much. We have news at noon when I'm not out covering these type of events, so we'll be back to it soon. You know what's so nice about this? I'll let you guys in on a secret. You know, covering events like this, I mean, I cover the news, but it's like the first cousin to crime TV. And by the way, guys, I'm not scripted for TV or anything. I'm just giving it to you as I'm thinking, all right? So, but a lot of cases, like we just had a guy go missing in New York. There's no publicity on it at all. You know, guy went missing, and there's so many people that go missing every day. So it's nice to find the people who are interested in these type of cases, so that when the less fortunate people are kidnapped or things happen, you know, I'll be able to pull up and get some eyes on these cases that the world keep in a quiet place, you know. There was a case down in Brooklyn where this girl disappeared. Her grandmother has been going crazy looking for her, like, you know, no publicity. Maybe for 3 days they wrote about it in the paper or something, but it didn't make the YouTube circuit, you know. Didn't make it at all. So hopefully, guys, if you guys can subscribe, like, and share, we can get more eyes on these type of cases, the ones that people don't pay attention to, that are just as important, you know. All right, we have a finally better real estate here, unobstructed. So left, and they left their trash too. How cold is that, man? Unbelievable. Oh well. Okay, all right. Yes, this is the Guthrie case. Okay, Chrysler, you want to see? Are you looking to see the house? Because I've been showing it. Is that what you want to see? You want me to go closer to show you the house, the front door, from the road, obviously, but you want to get that type of view? Is that what you're saying? Albert says a white van and a white car drove up the neighbor's driveway a few moments ago. Okay. You're looking to see Nancy, aren't we all? Can you go to the next door's house? I did that earlier and gave you guys a view of that. Okay, maybe we'll do a circle really quick. All right, if we can get the likes up. How about that? Oh, we did hit 300. So I guess that's a good reason to celebrate, right? Oh man, let's see. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, there's too many missing people, missing children. And we need to get more light shining in those dark places, you know. But it takes the big cases. It takes a case like Sean Diddy Combs to really give you the kind of views to then rally people together for a good cause. That's how it works. So like this case, hopefully will shed light for other cases around the United States. And when we show those type of cases, hopefully people will rally behind and try to help solve it too, you know. Thank you, B. Devin. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you so much. All right, Charlotte says great Clinton family video. I'm liking the channel. All right, I'm glad you're liking the channel. Okay, all right, guys, here we go. We're gonna do a round. For those that are just coming in, this is the front yard. Let's start over here. When there's a loop, right? I want to ask you guys a question. When there's a loop, do you typically drive in on the right or do you drive in on the left? Let's see what people are saying. Whenever people have a looped driveway, do you come in backwards? Actually, let's see here. Bring Nancy home. That's what the sign says. Okay. Nobody's holding your mother's hostage. Okay, so this is right side, probably the most common, I would say. I haven't looked at the comments, but let's see. People saying, yep, the right. So this was the most common way. In the video, you could actually see where the individual was walking. If you go right to the first millisecond of the video, the person walked in from the left side, like from this angle. Okay. If they have more video, maybe they show some lights going off, maybe some lights coming in, who knows, but we didn't get that type of video. Her garage is right here. You guys see this? Oh shoot, right there. Her garage is right there. So that's interesting too. And remember, there's a camera that was up on top of the pool house. That's the pool house right here, guys. The pool house is right here. Okay, right where you see it looks like that's a tree pot. The green tree pot is by the pool house. Okay, all right, so if you drive in, I would imagine she got dropped off, so maybe if the person dropped her off, I would hope they have driven her up to the garage, if that's how she went in, right? I mean, usually if the person is elderly, you would walk them in, but not everybody think the same way, so I can't speak on that. I'm just saying. Okay, now you see there's two steps going up, okay? But a very short distance, not a big, vast driveway or anything like that. Just driving by the highway, you can't really see the Nest camera, I would imagine, if you're just rolling through. A lot of people talking about white vans. I think I've counted about 7 already, so good luck with that, you know. But it could be a sign, but I don't know. Okay, so this is pretty much dead on to her front door. Through the cactus. Okay, we're gonna get you to the neighbor down the street in a minute. Just bear with me. I want to show you guys this first. All right. Okay. Okay. And there you go, guys. Let me show you this here. You see all the tracks here from cars? See that? There's so many tire tracks here from cars. Okay. In the media, they said that some people said no, not true. You can see it. Look there. There's tracks all over the place. Look at it. Even here, you have tracks. Even from this distance, you can see tracks going all the way up the hill. Okay. And you can see how this track is the last track that came in because it's over top of that track. You know, I want to see something here. Let's look at the other side. I didn't notice that until now. You see tracks on the side of the road, right? All sorts of tracks. You see tracks here. See a track going up. This track goes straight upward. See that? I hope we don't have some Barney Fife activity going on here. Look at here. Check this out. Look at there. You have tracks. All right. Okay, guys, so we have. Okay, guys, so here's the front door. It's not a great distance.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad. Thank you.
Okay. Look like she has some heating system, like a fireplace here in the front. You can see the chimney. People that kept saying it's a two-story, I don't see how that's possible. But there's tracks. You can see, I can see. Wow.
I've been to Tucson. I've been to Phoenix.
Okay. Okay. So when you go this direction, basically a rock throw, you have the neighbor's backyard. See right there, you could already see their chimney. That's going to the right. Okay, across the street equally, you have another house. And then the other house across the street from her is so highly elevated, they can look down and see probably her front door right there. You see that house? So the house across the street from her is sitting high enough, especially if his lights on, you could actually see. All right. Anyway, let's see what's happening. So to the right, this is the first house to the right of her. And I can hear them so well, the neighbors. So at nighttime, you would only hear more. Okay, so that's this way. Okay, you can hear so well out here during the day with all these people. So at nighttime it's going to be magnified, obviously. Is there any, oh, let's see, is there any, let's see here. Okay, we're gonna cover that way too. So now we're gonna go the other way. You guys want a fast tour, huh? Okay. How you doing? Okay. So now, okay, so this is Nancy Guthrie's home. Again, you see all the tracks, right? Tracks over tracks. There's the sheriff here 24/7. Man, she has amazing plants though. Front yard's amazing. Much different than New York. Okay, so that's the house that sits high up right there across the street. Bring Nancy home. Oh, let me zoom back out. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is the house to the left of her. Right, so there's the mailbox. And boom, here's the next house. The neighbors have put out yellow ribbons. A lot of the signs, I'm going to document some, but they say bring Nancy home. Okay. So this is the house that you guys are asking to see here. I guess you're trying to determine the distance. But again, this is a house that sits up at a higher elevation. That's diagonal from Nancy's home. Okay, so you said this is the neighbor's house with cameras that they were getting yesterday. Okay. Jeez, yesterday? 13 days later? 14 days later? Let's see here. Oh, okay. Yep. You would think that that would have happened day one, but I can't really call it. And then, unfortunately, I was in flight, so I didn't hear about that part. Let's see here. Yeah, the brush is very thick. Sam's great question, but why so much help for this one individual? Well, her daughter is probably one of the most known TV personalities for the morning show there is, so that makes sense, right? But I was told yesterday, oh, here's a van leaving from the neighbor. JLR is hard on it.
You guys took me on an FBI goose chase.
Let's see here. All right. I'm going to take a walk up the hill. I haven't seen much law enforcement. I don't know what's up. I saw a lot of law enforcement this morning. But over here, it's quite quiet, folks. It's quite quiet. Okay, Charlotte says, that's why I think it's about Savannah. And they did something to her mom to get at her. All right, thank you for your comment. Craig says, if it was any of us, wouldn't even hit the news. Okay, you guys remember the milk carton days? I don't even know if that exists still, right? That was many, many moons ago, though. Now with the internet. But the thing is, how would that get into your algorithm if you're not looking for missing folks and you're watching the Housewives every day or whatever you watch? So, I'm not sure what the strategy is. Remember in New York City, the guy that went up into the NBA building, no, NFL building, and I took you guys to that building. I showed you the flowers. The neighbors and people in New York just brought random flowers to show some concern for the family. There was a lot of balloons, a lot of teddy bears. Here, it's just mainly yellow flowers, so it seems like everybody's ordering from the same place, maybe. I did see the pretty much the same brand. But let's see what it looks like coming down the hill. So as I showed you, this house is elevated higher, right? It looks vacant, but I don't know, can't speak on that. Okay, so this house is elevated. I'm gonna go to the level of that house. So there you have it. That house sits at this level right here. This house here. I mean, there's a lot of brush, but that just gives you a different perspective. How is the internet here? I'm concerned about it. Does it seem that the camera is blurry? Or can you guys... Military man, okay. Sam's World says military man. I've heard that. Amanda says, I've been watching this from day one, and I just wish prayers they find her soon. Thank you, Nana. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, guys. Thanks for all the likes it goes for. Thank you very much for all the support. Okay, Sam's World said the FBI came to my house when the boys were abducted and killed in Nebraska, murdered John Jubert. Wow. Okay, Nix. Nice to see you back, Nix. Nix says, but now there's oat milk, almond, soy. Times have changed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, most people have grown to develop the idea that milk is not healthy. It creates mucus. That's a common thread. So people are drinking alternatives, including myself. So definitely yellow. Tiffany says yellow is for hope. Okay. Nick's shorts. Nick's, how you been doing? I was wondering how about you from the Diddy trial. I remember that. Craig says Charlotte Jones TV. Okay. Lisa, Vans were plumbers. Yes, yes. I copied that from JLR. Lisa says, hi, I'm watching JLR, a different screen, and one of the white vans was a plumber. Yes, I was filming from behind that vehicle. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Sam's World says I get Amber Alerts on my phone. Okay. So that might be a good idea, folks, to monitor, build awareness. Okay, very good. I don't think there's any new update, right? They're flying around the technology to try to decipher, if they could pick up her pacemaker. Because the thing about a pacemaker, which most people probably don't realize, but whenever you have those internal units that they have to install by surgery, obviously you don't want to have surgery every 6 months, every 6 years, in fact. So a lot of these pacemakers or these units that they install to reduce pain in your body, a lot of these units, the battery lasts 7-15 years. So even when a person is deceased, and I'm not speaking on her case, but the battery is still working and it's still compelling the unit to do what it does. So a military guy developed the technology, I guess, in a way that it would help in this particular case. They started off with a helicopter. Well, that's going to be loud. So now they've, from what I understand, they've applied that technology to the drones. And so now they're searching to see. Right now I think we're around 60 minutes from the Mexico border. We'll take a look. We'll take that spin. The drive in, I'm going to do that drive shortly, so you guys can get the full idea of what it looks like around here. I was shocked to see that this place is really popping. I mean, you have Chipotle. I thought it would just be one of these towns where you had few selections for food. They talked about this restaurant where they took the Range Rover from. So I was like, well, maybe there's just not a lot of selections, but shoot, this place has it's a college place, a lot of college students. So, there's a lot of activity. And one thing you can note about this place is because of the terrain, there's prints and tracks everywhere. I'm starting to get that Mayberry vibe around here. I don't know why, but anyway. I'll tell you one thing, in New York, you can't even turn a block without being on camera. And, whether you like it or not, that's what it is. That's why with Luigi, I covered Luigi Mangione's trial. I'll be going to both of his trials. I've been going to court every day for his case. I know his attorneys, all of that. But they had so many cameras, they could trace him all the way out of town. And then once they caught him on camera, they can go back in time and show you how he came into town. And New York is such a vast place. But because of the nature of how many people it is, they have the cameras, they have things in place. Around here, people, it's a little different. And I'm not knocking it, but, um, probably for most of us where we live, there's probably not a lot of cameras, but usually they have them at the stoplights and so forth. So I did note it here that that's the case. So let's see how battery life is looking here. Yeah, I'm getting low. Sheesh. Gonna have to re-up here in a little bit. I have no idea what time. Oh, it's 10 o'clock here. It's almost 10 o'clock here. Mayberry vibe might be a good thing. Yeah, definitely. Could be. A lot of traffic through here. Local traffic. I did hear in the media that the sheriff at least did not think this went into Mexico. But one thing I've noted is that we're not getting a lot of updates from the FBI. And I think we can understand why. They're keeping everything close to the vest, Because remember in the case of Brian Koberger, it went to a point where everybody's like, oh, this case will never be figured out. And then all of a sudden, boom, they pulled up on him in Pennsylvania, I think times have changed because, like, how would anybody have known about this technology where they're searching for your pacemaker without someone in law enforcement putting it out to the media, to the public? And to me, that I'm not sure why everything is being telegraphed, but maybe there's a legitimate reason for that. Charlotte says, unfortunately, they cannot share their open investigation. Yeah. But I think you could agree that they're putting out less information than the local sheriff. So, and you know what's crazy? We keep getting these reports, and I'm talking about legacy media that's saying, oh, the sheriff is thinking that this was a robbery that went left. And then we hear from the sheriff himself, and he says, oh no, I think it's something quite different. So who's putting out, So it's almost like every time you hear something in the media, you have to take it with a fine-tooth comb and try to figure it out, And then what's even worse, what I learned that Sean Diddy Combs and Nicolas Maduro, I'll give you an example with Nicolas Maduro. When I came out of the courthouse, actually before I went in, I've never seen so many people. And then you had Antifa there, which, because I'm out there so much, I have to rub shoulders. I'm out there at least in the midst of all sorts of groups. But I make sure that, I'm with the media. So, because sometimes, like when I covered the the No Kings and individuals were actually getting stabbed. And I was out there. I mean, having the right identification is important because when the police give their warning, anybody in the mist gets that heat. So you have to know that, or else you might get hit too. But at any rate, when I covered Nicolas Maduro and I came out afterward, you had Antifa, and then you had the Venezuelans, or what appeared to be Venezuelans. They said they were. They were fighting with the individuals that were local, and then they were calling the black people a word that's not so beautiful, right? I mean, I have it all documented. You can go back to my live. It's I think the live is I sat behind Nicolas Maduro. For those of you who are not familiar, Nicolas Maduro is the president of Venezuela, the former president, which according to the United States, he was not a valid president. But at any rate, they went in and pulled him out and dragged him to New York City. I attended his trial, and I will attend every day. He actually interacted with some of us as he came into the courtroom and said, "Happy New Year." His wife came in too. Her face was bruised and battered. And even during the proceeding, they asked the attorneys had asked that the judge allow the wife to have her ribs checked out because obviously she took a beating or a hard fall. We don't know. It wasn't mentioned in court, folks. So I don't want to get into that speculating. But anyway, when I went outside, the local people or the New Yorkers that were there in mass from Venezuela, or they say they were from Venezuela, whether they came recently or from times past, they were saying, "Oh yeah, everybody hates Maduro and this and that." So when you're out there, you just think, okay, these people are telling the truth or whatever. You just have to kind of take in a lot of information, then come to a reasonable conclusion. But then, now that I have roughly over 4,000 to 5,000 people from Venezuela that follow this channel, if you go and you look at the videos, some of those people are saying, "Oh, we want Maduro back." And then that intrigued me, so I went and I looked at video of the local people in Venezuela, and they have signs up, and they were participating. And then I started to see that they were even protesting inside of Venezuela, saying that we want Maduro back and that he's some great guy. So I said all that to say, you get so much information, you just have to process it. And it could be 10 of us, and let's see how many. We have quite a few people here now. Everybody process the same information and come to different conclusions. And a lot of that is based on our experiences in life. We look at everything through our own experiences or through what we believe. And it's tricky. So when it comes to this case, it's best to just stick to what the authorities are saying, because a lot of the things we're hearing in the media, later we hear that the sheriff didn't even say it, or yesterday I did a deep dive into the daughter, Annie, and whether or not she stated that her and her husband dropped off their mother, and to him mother-in-law, and come to find out that that was not confirmed in the media. And as it stands, it was the son-in-law that dropped her off, and within 2 minutes she was inside this garage door. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt is all I'm saying. Okay, Cookie says, but all the big names say it was a robbery gone wrong. Okay. Yeah, but listen, like I said, when I covered Sean Diddy Combs, I covered, now listen, when I covered Donald Trump's case and I sat there day in, day out in New York City, I knew. And in fact, I went onto my Facebook and I posted that Donald Trump is going to get 34 felonies. And I called it right. But, the case was laid out so strong, and it looked like it was a planned type of deal. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of times I have to speak this way because I know some people capture what I'm saying. But at any rate, it was a democratic situation. Let's leave it at that. So anyway, with Sean Diddy Combs, even though he had a mound of information that came on him, he was able to get around the RICO charges. So you can't, as much as we want to try to figure things out, it's not always easy. You just have to follow what the authorities are saying, and that changes, you know. Let's see, could have been a meeting, travel, thank you. Social media is a beast, yes. Lori, welcome. There's been so much misinformation with the case. Someone makes something up and it run. Yeah, I think some people wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell them this," and the scene of the world is changing. Even I'm starting to cover this little Dirk case. I actually met him once, and in his case, they're using his rap lyrics as gold to pin him down for these hits or murder. So just think about that. The judge is allowing his statements, because apparently the prosecution is trying to show that the stories that he's telling in his raps, they can actually verify it in the streets. That's a real big problem. But I don't think every rapper is actually telling you a real story. I mean, but this is where we're at now. So yeah, okay. Thank you guys for all the likes. Thank you, Stella, for clocking that. Yes, Lori, it definitely was not a RICO. But even though it wasn't a RICO, I will say the prosecution really did a bum job at trying to sink his ship. And in doing that, they overplayed their hand and they lost the case because of that, And there was a lot of arrogance from the prosecution. Guys, I've been covering the Alexander brothers. I've been in court for that too. I took a break from that to come cover this event. But again, that's a case where, there's a few things I would love to say about it, but, it's a touchy subject because there's a lot of individuals that are being abused and things that are happening. And I don't want to take away from that at all. But, when these people are cross-examined in court, you start to realize that some people be making stuff up, folks, And I'll just have to leave it at that. It doesn't mean that certain parties are not, innocent or whatever, but I'm just saying people be perjuring all the time. And, we've seen it happen in court with Sean Diddy Combs' case. And, it's just it's a crazy world we live in. Charlotte, thanks for hanging out with us. I'll be here. Come back anytime. Okay, have a good day, everyone. Thanks, Mel, for your commentary and content and chat. God bless. Okay, and thanks for the great channel. Thank you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, speculation is definitely not the way to go. A good measure to understand that is all of these cases where people are being sued for defamation. So, that's a life-altering event. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, but to go in the weeds and just start making things up or, pushing a certain narrative when we don't even have the facts, But again, I can't wait. I can't do it right now, but when I show you guys the video, what I recorded this morning while out, you can see the police are hard at it. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't tell if it was ICE or related to this case. But hi, they were really going in. So this is Channel 13 News, local news. They're doing their updates. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be, and for those of you who are going in, coming back, no worries, I'll be here, waiting for something to happen. Craig says, thanks Mel for being a breath of fresh air in this situation. Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't, and don't take this wrong, but let me phrase this right. I don't really have a need to add anything, you know. I let the chips fall where they may, and I don't mind going back and saying, hey, that was an error, you know. If it's 10 likes or 10,000 or a million, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, folks, you know. We got a new drone here, guys. A new drone. I don't want to bring any undue attention here, but I'll try to let you guys get in on her presentation a little bit. She's about to go live on on local TV, I guess. Okay. I'm near to your channel from JLR. Can you tell JLR you saw all those police this morning? He has been out to the area recently. Okay, I'll tell him that. All right, Cookie, I'm glad it's easy to follow. Yeah. But I will tell you this, though. I was on certain lives the other day, and I'm not taking, jabs at anybody. I was on some lives the other day when the FBI came through, and everybody wanted to be able to tell a story first. And then we get, oh, this guy, oh, he took himself out. And I saw him sitting in the front seat, like, God knows, man, what's really going on here? You know what I mean? Jeez. So we can only observe what we can observe, and some of the stuff that you even see. I think my grandmother used to say, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. You know? Oh, she's going to town over here, guys. She sounds amazing too. Okay. All right, from JLR. Thank you, Blick. Thank you, Blick Clark. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you, guys. We're news and true crime, So, and like I said, typically every day at noon we go live with the biggest stories of the day. But unfortunately, for a while, I won't be able to do that because I'll be out here, and it's hard enough to just retain battery life. So that's a challenge out here. I do have a charger though, so. Yeah, Craig at Culver's, you're right. Craig, what did you think about that? Wasn't that kind of disheartening how that went down? And then everybody, the thing is, right? You stay up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're watching somebody, and certain things are being reported. And then they shut off their stream for whatever reason. And now you have the last point that was expressed was false information. The next morning you wake up, you have people apologizing. And then I even saw legacy media that picked up some of the streamers' false information. And then they had to come back and apologize. But by then you have lawyers involved, and what a nightmare. Hello, man. It's the blur Ebels, I think it is. I have a serious blur. I see you have the sevens. The sevens is good energy. Okay. Oh my God, that drone came super low. What the hell? Damn. Well, jeez Louise, that drone came like so low, man. What is going on? Why would that happen? Yo, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Well, that was deliberate, but we just gotta keep moving, guys. Jeez, that's close. Did they have drones in Mayberry though? Oh man, Mayberry could also be a not so good thing. Thank goodness for the FBI on the case and doing what's right. Yeah, you know, Epstein case when he was in Florida, according to certain documentation, he was allowed to. He was on work release, and whenever I hear or talk about that, I think about Otis from the Andy Griffith Show being able to check himself in and out. Oh boy. They're talking about misinformation, guys. So, and I guess they're blaming some of the YouTubers. So that's happening right now too. So. Yeah, it might be a sniffer because it's going over it's really low now. Look at this. It came right over. Yeah. That one has red, white, and blue lights on it. So maybe, I don't know. I don't want to start guessing, you know. Yeah, the views are astonishing out here. Oh my God, what's up with this drone? Yo, this is crazy. This is no. Oh well. Oh, so we have two right now. Well, I ain't gonna worry about it. It is what it is. Okay. Well spoken, right? Very well spoken. All right, let's see if there's any police activity, guys. I haven't seen anything beyond the sheriff today, so. Those drones are so low.
back up all the way and slide it.
Did like 10 separate interviews.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for those that are, this is the house of Nancy Guthrie, guys. So they're saying that the sheriff is making his rounds, doing a lot of interviews. Sheriff Nanos. So.
Oh, you wanted So tell us in the chat if you think that this was a complete stranger, or if you think that the person actually knew her. And hit the like button, share, and subscribe, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, David says might be under a rock piles. Hope not. Okay. Yes, Blake prayers for Nancy. Okay, Dane says, what else could there be doing at this point? That's a good point. Great question. Nana says, I think it was a setup. Okay, Lori says, not a stranger. I believe they've been to the house before. Okay. Thank you. All right, guys, we're here at Nancy Guthrie's house at the street level. I think we're at day 14 or 15. I'm going to take a moment now and pull up some stories we could listen to together. And maybe we have some updates. I've been streaming all morning, so I haven't been able to see or hear anything that I typically would.
Let's see here. Yep. Yeah, most of these are from the same place. Day 18. Okay. Wow. It took me forever to get here, you know. Unbelievable. Yeah, so pretty much all these flowers are from the same florist shop. Okay. That explains probably why. It's very similar in nature. Thank you guys for the super chats. It's awfully kind of you. Oh boy, here we go. Mr. Drone again. Oh boy. All right. She dropped off a nice little angel. Wow. So I want to put the ribbon on the tree. Some ribbons here. I have some of the neighbors coming up paying their respects to whatever the situation may be. Okay, TMZ just received another letter according to JLR. I'll pull it up and we'll listen to it. Thanks, JLR. Appreciate it.
Mel. Nice to meet you.
Yep, yep.
On the next TMZ Live, TMZ has received yet another ransom demand, and this one is sophisticated and puts the media right in the middle of it. On the next
TMZ's received another ransom.
Wow.
Wow, what do you think, folks? TMZ.
Another ransom. Yesterday he said he wouldn't read anymore though. All right, so I'm gonna pull up this TMZ. Let me get out of the way. I'm gonna try to put the view on the house. A lot of these people are leaving, so I don't know what that means. All right. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm gonna pull up TMZ. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna pull up TMZ. See what's happening.
They also was
investigators are analyzing DNA using investigative genetic genealogy to find relatives with similar DNA, build a family tree, work backwards, and they hope will lead to a suspect. This is after DNA samples did not bring a match to the abstract database. Sheriff Chris Nano says they're also working with Google to try to retrieve more people and additional evidence inside Nancy's home. Though Google has taken up also working with more track the suspect legally and bought weapons from them. The FBI is also visiting the shortlist of names of individuals suspected by the government in the last year. And finally, the sheriff says this is not a cold case. He believes Nancy Guthrie is still alive and was targeted in this kidnapping.
No, I'm not. I have I help with my granddaughter, but I'm not. Yeah, I just got off. Just a little careful. You know, I've lived for 20 years. Yeah, so but I remember seeing you on there. Absolutely. It is Lisa. I'm an intern, so I go by basically Twitter. I can't
I thought you meant the actual Google Vault. Alright, that's in the case right there. Google Vault's right in front of you. And then hold this right here. Sorry.
Yeah, I will. A lot of people up there.
Okay, Lisa says Nancy had physical problems, but she did not have dementia. Okay. David says people take control of your elders. They really do need your help, but some are too proud to ask. Okay. Okay, so yesterday, I know the guy from TMZ said that he would not release any new video in regards to the ransom letters, but at least there was some sort of announcement that another additional letter has been received. So right, so Lisa says no new notes, but this is a new ransom letter. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, a lot of individuals are leaving. Not sure what that means. Hi. All right, so we're here at the Nancy Guthrie's home, in which she was last seen. I guess it's 18 days ago now, so quite some time has gone by. Earlier on, people were going back and forth from Nancy's house to the oldest daughter's home. But it seems that everybody's pretty much stationary at this point. I think after the other night when people were really staking out the SWAT, it looks like they've put a damper on that. So it seems that all the attention, at least from the media right now, is on this particular property of Nancy Guthrie. Are there double street name signs? Yes, there are. I had mentioned earlier, this is the first time I've noticed that. I think this is a development that has a HOA from what I understand. So perhaps that would make sense. Maybe they added it for an additional touch. I'm going to do a drive tour of the local area while I re-up on my battery life. So stay tuned if you're interested in seeing what this place looks like. I'm going to show you the place where the lady, the anchor from New York Post, she took a picture of a glove, so we'll do that next. Okay, let's see. Yeah, if you guys have some non-speculative messages from the news media, please share. Do share. Let's see what people are saying. Okay, Martha Green says, I'm behind on most of this. Can I ask a question? Sure. TN Chick says, thought that's what I just saw. After the sheriff cleared everyone, mainly the son-in-law, much of the media may not know where to go. Okay. Martha says, if TMZ is receiving these letters, my email, can they not trace that email back to the sender? They're probably working on that. Travel says sheriff can't exonerate anyone. Okay, thank you. Grab says Loretta owns everything. Okay, Loretta owns everything. All right, so we're here at the Nancy Guthrie's home. There's a lot of media here, but quite a few are packing up, leaving. Is it still buffering, Cookie? I'm in Tucson, Arizona at Nancy Guthrie's home. Are you guys able to see the video okay? Okay, we're good now. Okay, sorry about that. My battery life had dwindled down, so I had to do a regroup here. Thank you guys. Uncommon. All right, thank you. All right, so give me 1 second here, guys. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I don't want to pass by this thing too many times, right? This appears to be the only way in, from what I remember, to the main highway. So, okay, let's see here. All right. I wish there was a way I could do this shorter, but I can't. Let's see. All right. So, her house is up on the left-hand side, okay? This house here that you see at the corner here, this house would be to the right of her, okay? So, I'm curious. We'll start with going back down before we head back into town. I want to show you guys what Tucson. I don't think there's anything happening out here today, really. But I charge anyway, so it's a good time to drive, folks. I think that's the best strategy. So let's see. I'm curious about this mountain back here, and I wonder what this is all about back here. Okay. Oh, might be a dead end. But you see how amazing it is, right? So this is down the road to the far right of her. Somebody walking their dog. So this is the view I was telling you guys about. Well, they have the Teslas out here, so it's a good sign. Oh, they're building. So this is where they're building. That's where I heard about online. They were building new homes, a new development of some sort, or maybe adding to it. Oh boy, let's see here. I want to put my phone. I don't know the rules here. Let's see. Okay. So this goes to a stop sign. Okay. So that has no outlet, but we'll give it a shot. Hopefully there's a good turnaround point just to show you the view. Mountains. Okay, so yeah, so this is where we run out of okay, and they're building houses back here, but you can see the amazing view. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is a hands-free device, but I don't want to take any chances with the phone being up. Okay. So you can see in the background, you can see the city. There's so many workers. There's people doing work everywhere. And I've been here all pretty much most of the day. I arrived early. This is the only additional police officer I've seen today, other than, in this development, other than the sheriff that's on site. So it's starting to be, we went from cold this morning to super hot right now. So down here. Okay, he's walking his dog. So this is basically the entire street. We've looked at it for Nancy Guthrie. Basically you have a dead end at one end, which I didn't know that till now. If you go straight. Okay, Catalina Foothills, that's what that is. Okay. Okay. So now you see where all the media is set up. This is the neighbor that's right next to her, actually. Once you go beyond this here, the street here, and this is the immediate neighbor. So this is the immediate neighbor right there. And then the next house on the left is going to be Nancy Guthrie's. Okay. And you see different media outlets, people coming and going. So this is Nancy Guthrie's home right here, guys. Okay. You can see that there's a street directly across from her, that right across from the house.
You have your iPad at the
Oh,
top.
I do?
You know that? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was trying to tell you since over there, but you've been trying
Okay,
right
okay. Okay, all right, we're back in business. Okay. All right, here we go. So that's the immediate neighbor to her left, where some are saying the FBI. I don't know. I wasn't here for that, so. But yesterday, I guess they're trying to say there was some activity. Who knows? May not have been anything. So I don't want to speak on it. Okay, so there's other streets that you can see with no outlet. And so the reporter that's on YouTube show everyone about the glove. So probably okay. So it's a really nice neighborhood here. I guess today is the trash pickup day for some.